Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo-Olu swears in 11 permanent secretaries, signs MOU with French government on esports, and state government review resilience strategy initiative. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in 11 permanent secretaries to scale up efficiency and reposition the wheel of governance in Lagos State. The governor also appointed a 5-member standing tribunal of inquiry on chieftaincy matters led by retired Justice Owolabi Dabiri. The event was held at the Lagos House in Ikeja. Take a look.
The Lagos House, alongside Ikeja, is the venue for the swearing-in of the newly appointed permanent secretaries and a 5-member standing tribunal of inquiry on chieftaincy. Family, friends, state government officials gather at the banquet hall to witness the occasion. The arrival of the governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, and his deputy, Kadri Hamzat, signals the commencement.
I will be faithful.
One after the other, they step out to take their oath of service, starting with a 5-member standing tribunal of inquiry on chieftaincy, led by the retired Justice Owolabi Dabiri.
Solemnly swear and pledge.
The next set to pledge allegiance is the 11 appointees as permanent secretaries.
As may be officially permitted by the governor. So help.
They were picked from a pool of eligible public officers following weeks of rigorous screening of 54 candidates. The state head of service, Akim Muri-Okunla, applauds the governor for ensuring transparency in the selection process.
It is germane to immediately observe that the Standing Tribunal of Inquiry into Chieftaincy Matters in Lagos State was established in the year 2001 to address and adjudicate undisputed chieftaincy titles amongst communities towards facilitating amicable resolutions of issues through its rulings and recommendations. This mandate effectively positions the tribunal as the central organ for ensuring peace and harmony in the process and procedures of succession into traditional schools within and amongst local communities in Lagos. It is in view of this that I wish to strongly urge the incoming chairman and the members of the tribunal to realize and recognize the enormity of the responsibilities that government has entrusted upon them and to rise to the occasion through conscious and deliberate commitment to the tribunal's terms of reference, particularly by those tribunal members who are not legal practitioners. Once again, and in line with Mr. Governor's avowed commitment to the enthronement of merit through a fair, equitable, just and transparent system, the quality and standard of selection of new appointees again reinforces the current administration's determination to reposition the state's public service for quality service delivery to Lagosians and Nigerians at large. I therefore invite you all to join me in appreciating the Governor of Lagos, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, with a resounding round of applause. Thank you very much, sir. I must indeed greet you specially for the sterling leadership you continue to provide for the Center of Excellence. Finally, I wish to congratulate you newly appointed permanent secretaries on your emergence and elevation to the enviable rank of permanent secretaries in the state's public service, the position that I know you will cherish very much. I am fully assured that your individual abilities will add significant value to public policy development and implementation in the state public service.
Governor Sanwo-Olu says the appointment was necessary to help the state government achieve its transformation agenda for the people.
The role of the permanent secretary is fundamental to the success of every administration. And this administration appreciates the role that the permanent secretary plays, and they are playing for our goals and the effortless achievement that we have recorded so far. I'm therefore delighted to congratulate you all and commend you for all the numerous contributions you have made thus far in your various MPA and in the state that has merited this lofty achievement. So this administration is committed to excellence, and we have ensured that only the very best are entrusted with position of leadership, responsibility, and we believe that with the assurance that you are giving to us today, the path to the development and the delivery of a greater Lagos is certainly on course. Your responsibility as Permanent Secretary and as Accounting Officer is to optimally manage all the resources, both financial and human, that will be placed at your disposal at your various MPA. Very optimistic that you all will measure up to the expectation and you'll be able to say that we did not misplace our trust in appointing you today. I certainly want to finally again give kudos to the head of service and to other members of this screening committee for doing a great job. I want to wish you all the very best. I want to say to you that too much is given, much is expected. Our course, this administration course of delivering the real dividends of democracy is unshaken. We are on a road in which we believe that our body of permanent secretary are joining us with us. We are on a course to ensure that Lagosians receive the best of governance in all spheres of life. We ensure that, be it in infrastructure, be it in education, be it in technology, be it in public service delivery, be it in medical, in all facets of life, as Lagos State Public Service, our citizens must ensure that they get the best of us at all times. And I want to believe that this class of 11 will ensure that we continue to all the real dividends of democracy and the heightened level of governance that will be known for.
The newly appointed Permanent Secretaries and Tutor General for Education District 4, Oshinaike Olawale, who spoke on behalf of others, assures the government of raising the bar of excellence.
We are so happy to be given this privilege, although it is a call to service in the state of excellence, and as it is often said, to whom much is given, a lot more is expected. We want to assure the present administration that the glittering developmental pillars of the team's agenda for Greater Lagos is there for us as a mandate to ensure that we continue to allow it to glitter by polishing and shining as much as possible. Being a state of excellence, the bar is very high. We know that quite very well, and we are going to ensure that that bar is not reduced. And in fact, we are going to move it higher.
Those appointed as Permanent Secretaries are Oshinaike Olawale as Tutor General Education District 4, Olumide Shogunle, Ministry of Information and Strategy, Olufunke Oyetola, Tutor General Education District 3, Olasukomi Oyegbola, Public Service Office, Kikelomo Daudu, Office of Central Internal Audit, Gbolahan Toriola, Ministry of Transportation, Olubusola Abidakun, Teaching Service Commission, Olashikbo Aino, Ministry of Home Affairs, Olufolake Kasumu, Ministry of Science and Technology, Oluwole Sotire, Ministry of Waterfront and Infrastructure, and Ibrahim Obajomo, Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has signed a memorandum of understanding with the French government enabling professional esports players in Lagos to go on real-time online community and compete with players around the world to earn fortunes from the multi-billion-dollar industry. The bilateral agreement was sealed at the Lagos House in Marina.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu makes his way into the Lagos State House Banquet Hall in Marina alongside the French ambassador to Nigeria, Mrs. Emmanuela Blattman. They exchange pleasantries with the guests. Mrs. Blattman's visit is to officially seal a bilateral partnership with Lagos State Government, which will lay a foundation for the development of electronic sports in the commercial nerve center of the country. Without wasting time, both government officials put pen to paper, signing a memorandum of understanding enabling professional esports players in Lagos. And the governor believes that the French government will deliver a high-grade online video gaming infrastructure that would afford players in the state to switch from being casual participants to competitive players in their games of choice.
We're building something new, we're building something fresh, we're building something organic that I see that in the years and the years to come, we will be certainly very excited with the decisions we're making today. You know, signing an MOU, it's a beginning, in my view, of a long-lasting, mutually beneficial relationship. And what are the relationship? We're building an ecosystem in esports that will transform, you know, the current state that it is. That's one. But more importantly, to uplift, you know, our people. It's not about us in this room. It's about the various thousands and thousands of youth, of young people who are not here, but who will be the real beneficiaries, you know, of what we're doing. You know, and for me, that's really the essence of governance. That's really the essence of collaborations like this. Let's, as bureaucrats, you know, let's get the real work done. Let's step back and let's get the real people get to do the job. You know, I'm not the most knowledgeable person on esports. You know, when the Director General also spoke about it, I said, really? They said, we've done so much. I said, really? And I'm like, so you realize that even the governor doesn't know a lot of things. But I'm learning, right? But for me, when I saw the background to it, I know fully well that it's the right thing to do. I know that the time is right, and I know that the space has to be in Lagos. So Lagos is also, again, laying the foundation and being the very first to be able to see, you know, the future in esports. And we're thank you. And we're happy. We're happy with the skills, with the knowledge that is being transformed, with the enthusiasm that people see, you know, in developing, you know, interventions and innovations like this. And I want to say, Madam Ambassador, that you know, a lot, you know, continues to happen between French and Nigeria, you know, and French, you know, and Nigeria, but like a little dot to Lagos, French and Lagos, and we like that. We actually like that a lot. So for us, it's really to ensure that we can create that ambience, that space where our youth, you know, are very smart, intelligent, you know, youth and smart kids in this place can take this opportunity of, you know, deepening, you know, the understanding of the games, you know, and deepening the learning, you know, that will be coming out of it. It's like STEM education in itself, you know, technology, you know, innovation, creativity, right, are the kind of things that we're going to be seeing.
Mrs. Blattman assures the Lagos State government of redefining sports sector for the benefit of young Nigerians.
Honestly, to be developing this program here in Nigeria is really, it's like a must for us, and also because, as you might know, Mr. Governor, His Excellency President Emmanuel Macron is very fond of of Lagos, but also of esports. So so I think it's a great success for us. Esports represent a particularly dynamic sector internationally with extremely promising perspectives in Nigeria, and that's what we're proud to support. As a discipline, esports can strengthen motor skills, cognitive abilities, promote team spirit, and bolster youth social commitment. But it's also a $2.56 billion industry that mobilizes and strengthens Nigerian youth's access to career opportunities in the IT or STEM sector, but it also promotes economic stability and public engagement. So, in order to activate this partnership, we first began our actions by organizing the first mission in June 2022 by Mr. Désiré Koussawo, who is the president of the France Esports Association. His visit was made possible and efficient thanks to our public and private partners reunited here with us today, and I'd like to thank you all. Implementation of our partnership is the signing today of this bilateral agreement. In order to develop, a strong and resilient esports ecosystem. The objectives, as was said, is to both structure and frame the existing esports ecosystem, its institutional players and businesses, and to train and professionalize Nigerian esports players. We believe that France has a lot to offer in this area.
The State Commissioner for Youth and Social Development assures that the government will work with partners to regulate the online gaming industry.
The general idea behind it is to regulate the gaming industry. For us, as the Sports Commission, for the French Embassy, the gaming community in Lagos, to work together and regulate esports. Gaming is not only about gambling, it's not gambling. It goes beyond that. This is about opening up a lot of potentials for our young ones, for our people, to come into this gaming population, to be members of the international gaming community, and to take part in a number of gaming competitions, and then to develop a lot of gaming infrastructures. Games, coding, and all that all goes together with it. And today, the purpose of signing this memorandum of understanding is for us to work together so that we have an understanding amongst ourselves. The Lagos State government, through the Lagos State Sports Commission, the French Embassy, who are pioneers in this field worldwide. They have expertise, they have a lot of competitions that they have in place. Then the gaming community in Lagos and Nigeria as well.
And the executive chairman of the State Sports Commission applauds the government for opening up cooperative arms that will make electronic sports thrive in Lagos.
We're here to celebrate and recognize an important milestone in the esports landscape in Lagos, Nigeria, in fact Africa, because this is about one of the first MOUs to be signed between the National and the Lagos State. It's important because it's meant to open up cooperative arms and platforms for the esports community in Lagos to the rest of the world. The French embassy gives us the gateway to access capacity development, training, technical support, equipment support, and a wide variety of things that will help the Nigerian or the Lagos youth to access the globe and the esports space. Don't forget the esports space is about the fastest growing sports market in the world, with now about over $2 billion worth and growing very, very fast. So we want the Lagos youth to be part of that market, benefit from that market, and also let our communities and our society be educated onto the benefits of this market. And that's why we are doing that with the French Embassy, who have been very, very cooperative and collaborative with us so far.
This initiative by the Lagos State government aims to change the face of sporting, generate more revenue, and build a sustainable ecosystem for Lagos.
And finally on the program, the Lagos State government has begun the process of reviewing its resilience strategy implementation, which was launched 2 years ago. Now, the Lagos Resilience Office met with stakeholders in the public and private sector to discuss the outcomes and impacts of the projects and, of course, programs that have been implemented across the state.
I'd like to unveil this to the glory of God and to the...
In February 2020, the Lagos State Governor launched a resilience strategic document that represents his vision to transform the state into an innovative, inclusive, and prosperous city to empower its people to thrive, adapt, and grow sustainably.
Unveil the Lagos Resilience Strategy.
2 years down the line, the state government is reviewing the extent of implementation of the Lagos Resilience Strategy at Radisson Blu Hotel, Ikeja, by engaging community stakeholders and other government officials and to know their performance level. The State Resilience Office is responsible for this period exercise, and the senior officer explains areas that will be focused on.
We define urban resilience as the capacity of individuals, communities, institutions, businesses, and systems within a city to survive, adapt, and grow no matter what kind of acute shocks or chronic stresses the city experiences or might experience. And it's in line with this that we released the Lagos State Resilience Strategy in February 2020, and this strategy is the state's and Nigeria's first urban resilience strategy document, which articulates an integrated approach to addressing the shocks and stresses Lagos experiences or might experience. And we believe that through the implementation of this strategy, Lagos State is committed to building a state that is efficient, innovative, and inclusive. A state that survives, adapts, and grows sustainably in spite of its multifaceted challenges. We're therefore here today to review how well we have performed over the last 2 years in line with our objectives and goals, discuss the outcomes and impacts of the projects and programs that have been implemented, outline challenges to the implementation of planned projects and programs, and identify strategies to mitigate these challenges.
Other speakers highlight what the government has put in place to enhance teaching and learning as well as sustainable food sector.
In education, when the pandemic happened, all schools were locked and people were not allowed to go to work. So that did not disturb us in education in Lagos. All our children are at home, but they are learning through virtual means. So government has invested heavily on the use of technology in education, where tablets are given to students to learn, and they learn through the television and radio as well. So that has actually enhanced teaching and learning in Lagos. Despite the challenges we have when we have immediate occurrences, students are not locked out, including public and private schools. During this period, children learn at home through the gadget that is provided for them by the state government.
I could see that the Lagos state government clearly understands some of the issues regarding food shortages and also the need to also build up resilience. They are doing very well so far, especially with some initiatives along the axis that I work within the Ekwe axis. Just I think about 2 Saturdays ago, there was the launch of the Food Security Hub Center around that axis, and what that seeks to do in coming years is actually provide what I can call an aggregation center where farmers and other value chain actors can actually meet in terms of coordination and also in terms of food production. In there, you also have processing facility for fresh produce as well. So in that light, I would say they've gotten that part right. And I see also a lot of development in the areas of skills for youth.
Community representatives also have their stories to tell as regards the resilience strategy implementation.
Government has been able to reach out to some of the slum communities. In the area of education, they talked about leave no one behind. Leave no one behind simply means children from 3 years and above being in school, that's catching them young. And they made it so easy that when you're putting your children there, it's free. Free as in the parents are not paying for that section, for the children between 3 to 5 years. And the children that are above that's 5 years, you are only paying 3,000.
Residents are advised to pay their tax to have access to more initiatives and infrastructure development.
Of the 31 initiatives in the strategy, I'm happy to say that all of them have begun to be implemented in one way, in one form or the other. Unfortunately, not all of them are moving at the same pace because at the end of the day, we need to prioritize based on the resources that government has. We're still asking people to pay their taxes because right now our tax revenue to GDP is still low. It's just about 2%. And if we're serious about development in Lagos, it needs to be about 15%. So please pay your tax, as in if you are not yet doing so, because a lot of the extent of work that has been done has been around the funding that is available for it. But needless to say, we're still open to different ways and innovative ways of implementing these initiatives, as we are aware that not all of it can be implemented by government. Many of them will still be implemented in collaboration with the private sector. So please reach out to us. I think we're willing and always looking for new ways to implement initiatives, and we're looking forward to partnerships on how to implement these major initiatives in the strategy. And you can look up these initiatives online. If you just type Lagos Resilience Strategy on Google, as in the strategy document is the first you will see, and we look forward to working with everyone in the near future.
The 31 initiatives outlined in the Resilience Strategy document is already being actualized in the state in the area of traffic management, healthcare services, road construction, among others. And the Lagos State government believes that it's ready to improve its performance across board.
Well, that's the program for this week. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Until we come your way again next time, please stay safe. Bye for now.